Why would one of the most sensual books in the Bible be considered sacred scripture? A garden, perfume, and oil? Two lovers searching for one another through the night? At first glance, the Song of Solomon feels almost out of place among prophecy, law, and judgment. But perhaps it was never merely about romance. Perhaps it was preserving something humanity was always meant to remember, that love was once sacred. Before the world turned intimacy into transaction, desire into addiction, and connection into performance. Welcome to Code of Scripture. This afternoon we decode one of the most mysterious books ever written, the Song of Solomon, not as romance alone, but as a hidden map of sacred union, lost wholeness, and the memory of Eden hidden inside human connection. The Song of Solomon constantly returns to one place, the garden. An enclosed garden is my sister, my spouse. Gardens in Scripture are never just landscapes, they are states of consciousness. Eden itself was a garden, a place where humanity existed in harmony before fragmentation entered the world. The lovers in Song of Solomon meet among vineyards, flowers, spices, fountains, and trees, because the text is invoking remembered wholeness. The garden represents untouched consciousness, authentic intimacy, reality before corruption, connection before performance. But notice, the garden is enclosed, protected, sacred. Not everything belongs inside. Modern culture has inverted this completely. Intimacy has become public spectacle. Love has become algorithmic. Desire has become industrialized. The garden was never meant to be harvested by the machine. It was meant to remain sacred ground. The two lovers in Song of Solomon are often interpreted literally, but symbolically. They represent something deeper, the divided parts of humanity searching for reunion, the masculine and feminine, logic and intuition, mind and soul, consciousness and subconsciousness. Throughout the text, the lovers repeatedly search for one another. They find each other, lose each other, search again. This mirrors the human condition itself. We move through life sensing that something is missing, some forgotten piece of ourselves hidden beneath distraction, trauma, labor, and noise. The beloved becomes the symbol of lost wholeness, and the search becomes spiritual. Notice how often the text describes longing, not possession, longing, because the sacred union cannot be forced, it must be remembered. The Song of Solomon is filled with references to oils, perfumes, incense, spices, fragrance. Why? Because scent is tied directly to memory. Even now, a single smell can transport you years into the past instantly. Ancient cultures understood this deeply. Fragrance represented invisible presence, the unseen essence of a person lingering after they leave. The lovers in Song of Solomon recognize one another through fragrance, because sacred connection leaves an imprint beyond language. Oil also represented consecration. To be anointed with oil meant set apart, sacred, transformed. The text is quietly suggesting true love changes consciousness itself, not through possession, through presence. At several points, the beloved searches through the city at night. The city in Scripture often represents civilization disconnected from the sacred. Noise, commerce, control, surveillance, alienation. Inside the city, the beloved becomes difficult to find. This feels strangely modern. We live among millions of people, yet loneliness has never been higher. We are hyper-connected digitally, yet emotionally fragmented. The machine offers constant stimulation, but very little intimacy. The lovers wandering the city become symbolic of humanity searching for authentic connection inside systems that profit from emotional isolation. And perhaps that is why the search feels endless, because the city cannot manufacture what the garden once provided naturally. The deepest mystery of Song of Solomon is this: the union is not merely romantic, it is restorative. The two becoming one symbolizes fractured consciousness becoming whole again. This is why the language feels dreamlike, transcendent, almost cosmic. For a moment, fear disappears. performance disappears, isolation disappears, time itself softens, and something ancient returns, the memory of being fully seen. Perhaps this is why modern systems work so hard to distort intimacy, because genuine connection cannot easily be monetized, tracked, or controlled. Authentic love creates loyalty beyond systems, presence beyond algorithms, meaning beyond consumption. The machine can simulate attraction, it can simulate pleasure, it can even simulate companionship, but sacred union is something else entirely. It requires soul, vulnerability, and remembrance. This has been a Mysterious Encounters, and maybe the Song of Solomon was never hidden inside scripture by accident. It preserves a truth civilization keeps forgetting. That intimacy was once sacred. That love was once a path to wholeness, not performance. That desire was once connected to transcendence, not addiction. And perhaps the garden was never fully lost. Perhaps fragments of Eden still appear whenever two people truly see one another beyond the masks, the systems, and the noise. The sacred union is not escape from reality. It is remembrance of what reality once felt like before fragmentation, and perhaps that remembrance is powerful enough to change the world.